everyone. Welcome to the YouTube channel of Digital Tech Media. Today we are in conversation with Mr. Debashish Mukherjee, Vice President, Regional Sales, Asia Pacific and Japan at SonicWall. A seasoned leader and a visionary with 22 plus years of experience behind him, Debashish brings global and cross-cultural work experience at both India and Gulf. Before joining SonicWall, he has worked for several reputed IT brands, including Huawei Technologies and Dell, to name a few. Today, he'll help us traverse the ransomware attack landscape and how channel partners can help generate awareness around ransomware attacks and help enterprises in thwarting such attacks. So without wasting any more time, let's get into a quick chat with Mr. Debashish. So Debashish, first up, we'd like to know, how do you think the ransomware landscape has really evolved in the past couple of years? And how do you see it impacting businesses in India and worldwide?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. So in cybersecurity world, we are always talking about ransomware, and we are seeing this is growing. There is a different trend. Sometimes it is going, sometimes it is declining. So last year, what we have seen, it is slightly declined, but then couple of countries we have seen there is an increase. India, we have seen it has jumped, or it's rather not India, it's more of an APJ, it has jumped. But so this is a different trends going on. So sometime we see it is going down, sometime it is going up. But yeah, ransomware is definitely one of the biggest problem for cyber world.
Right. So, what are some of the trends that you see escalating in the, years to come when it comes to ransomware attacks?
Yeah. So first of all, this trends is it's very difficult to predict any trends. What we are seeing is what has happened in last 1 year. So last 1 year, probably it is declined, as I just said, right? In APJ number has increased, but in the globally we have seen decrease. So that is a various reason, of course, because we can analyze that because of the previous couple of quarters, there was political issues, that geopolitical issues. There is a cryptocurrency was not in popular, lot of government restrictions, or a lot of country has put restriction on certain countries. So because of that, flow of cryptocurrencies was not that easy, and that could be the reason it's a decline. But having said so, I think the ransomware will be always there, and it will always increase because until and unless we stop paying ransom to the cyber criminal, it is one of the easiest way to get money from the customer. So cyber criminal will definitely use. So you can see that definitely and further growth in coming quarters.
Right. Okay. So what are some of the best practices for businesses to prepare for ransomware attack?
Yeah, so I think to give you a short, long story short, because this is a long discussion, we keep talking about the securing your network. So to short answer that, customers should understand their portfolio, their infrastructure, their network, do some audit, understand the weak areas, and create a multi-layered defense. So what exactly the multi-layer defense is? You need to protect all the layer from a perimeter to endpoint and in between everything possible, right? If your employees are remote, then you need to protect the remote employees. If you are infrastructure in cloud, you need to protect the cloud. So all the layers you need to protect. I think that's the best approach, and all this has to be integrated. And it should not work in silos, because what we see is many companies or many customers implement a lot of good practice or good product, good solution, but they are works on silos. So what we talk about is unified visibility and control. All this product has to be integrated so that you can see that what's happening in your network. And the last piece is the human piece, because whatever you do, whatever implement or technology or solution you implement, you need to educate your employees and user how to use it. But that's the weakest link. What we notice that whatever we do, the failure actually comes from the human link.
Absolutely. Okay, so an important question with keeping the channel in mind. What role do you think the channel partners can play when it comes to creating awareness around ransomware attacks, and how can they really help businesses tackle them really well?
Yeah, so channel plays a very, very big role because as an OEM we have a very limited source. whatever number of people we add, we cannot reach out to the masses. But the channel, cumulatively, we have so many channel partner, right? For example, in our case only, we are working with 17,000 partners. Now you can imagine that 17,000 partner with their workforce, they can reach out to many places or many customer, right? I think that's the reason, channel partners plays a big role. They should educate their customer, and they should talk about best practices, and they have a bigger visibility, because when we talk about security not only a firewall or email security or endpoint, right? There is a multiple other products are there. So channel partners can actually integrate all these solution and give them a right solution. Plus, channel partners are the people who can actually help them to understand what is the network, presently is the infrastructure of their the customer environment, and what are the correction required. Time to time they can educate, time to time they can train their team members. So that's all the aspects which I just spoke about need to be addressed, and the best thing is channel team.
Right. All right. So, a related question and the last one for today's interview is that, what different is SonicWall doing when it compares to when compared to other vendors, cybersecurity vendors in the country, and how are your products and solutions really helping companies tackle, such ransomware threats?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting point, because I'm working for SonicWall. Definitely, I'll talk about SonicWall. But yes,
Yeah.
so what is happening is, in cybersecurity, we have 200 plus vendors. Everyone is developing something unique. But when we talk about a user experience, users are looking for an integrated story, because no one has that bandwidth that, okay, we will implement best in class and someone will stitch those so that it will talk to each other, right? Because it's like an integrated story. You cannot create a silo story. So what SonicWall is doing, couple of things. One, whatever we are doing, our first objective is how we can give a better security, because we are a security company. We talk about security efficacy, right? Whatever be the product is a secondary. Why, how effective is our product and the solution altogether? So we are talking about security efficacy. And from last consecutive 7 quarter, ICSA lab report has given a certification to SonicWall that we are the only company hitting 100% security protection and zero false positive, right? That's important. So security means how effective, how, and customers should look for security efficacy. So that's the first thing. Second thing, what we are trying to solve is a business problem, is how we can integrate and give a platform to the customer, so that customer do not have to integrate and pay their time and energy, because that's not their business. Their business is something else. Let them do their business and use our platform, which is already integrated, and you will get the unified visibility and control, which probably many companies are not been able to provide. Of course, they are probably creating very good product, but it is one of these product. So again, you need to integrate, and that may not give you the right protection.
Absolutely. So integration is the key. And on that note, thank you so much for helping us dig deeper into the entire ransomware landscape in India. And we really had a good conversation with you today, Debashish. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.